Hello, Gracia Carver, Chief Experience Officer of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Thank you for this opportunity to be a part of the World Series Customer Centricity Awards. We are so honored to be here. I'm going to bring to life what we've done over the past 3 years at Blue Cross Blue Shield. I've been with the organization since March of 2018. And from there have stood up a standalone customer experience practice with a great team, and we've had some very, very good results. So I'm going to bring that to life for you on these slides. The first thing I'll talk about is just our strategy. And the most important thing is that it is tied to our corporate strategy of members first. And you'll notice this is lassoed to simple. Healthcare is not simple. And we need to do a better job as consumers, and consumerism really reflects the expectations and the changing expectations of our members. I'll talk a lot about how we are working to create simpler experiences for our members and how we're changing our culture to do that. This is a bedrock foundation framework that we're using in our team to help articulate to the organization what the CX team does and how we're really developing a culture and how we are including subject matter experts in the work that we do. So my team is responsible for measurement, understanding, AKA research, strategy, which is constantly ongoing, improvement, which took a good foothold this past year, and then culture, which is also ongoing. When I started with the organization, we established a customer experience council, which are subject matter experts from all over the company, even to include shared service areas like HR and finance. This is our initial roadmap. You can see we started in 2018 and really launched a number of initiatives around initiating and understanding for customer experience practice. We have done a lot in elevating and optimizing our practice and have a number of ongoing activities in differentiating and transforming that are still carrying over into our refreshed roadmap. This is just a slide of highlights from our refresh roadmap, which will take us through the next 5 years. And again, using that music framework, measurement, understanding, strategy, improvement, and culture. And there's quite a few things on here that I'll touch on in my remaining slides. We're doing a lot of work around touch point ownership and that the business owns those touch points. A lot of work with dashboards, and you'll see examples of that. We have some ROI modeling that we've done within our improvement framework. I'm going to talk a lot about our new improvement framework and how that's working. And then just some things we're doing continually in our culture and a new project with Project Betty Grace. The key in our culture is that we define customer experience as everyone owns customer experience. It's not just a department. Now we'll talk about culture. This is our Blue KC CX definition, which was done in a co-creation event with about 12 senior executive leaders. And I pulled them all in my second month with the company and really sat down with them to define what customer experience means for the organization, as well as helping to educate about the kind of the maturity roadmap and what it means to have a customer experience practice. And again, the fact that everyone owns the experience. This was a fantastic co-creation event, and it allowed us to walk out with 12 senior ambassadors for the program and became a very strong foundation for our practice. We also created a brand for our area. It is called The Power of X, and worked with our marketing team to help us design 3 different campaigns. One was kind of a teaser campaign. What is customer experience? What does it mean to us? How do you think about easy? We have a random acts of easy program that I'll talk to you about. We also did a lot of education, spent 5 months meeting with every department in the organization about what customer experience is, the fact that everybody owns it, what things were going to look like, what it means to understand a journey, and then just the whole 5-year roadmap. And then we also did a number of videos and some other campaigns around solving for X as we continued that awareness campaign. This is an example of our Random Acts of Easy program. Every year we rent golf carts and take employees from their cars to the building and back and forth. We talk about what easy looks like as a consumer and in our business. We also hand out ice scrapers and umbrellas in bad weather, and there's a number of other things that we do to really help our employees feel what it means to have things made easy for them. Our next act is Project Betty Grace Jackson. She was our first member, and this was over 84 years ago, and she's holding her member ID card. And we are forming a Remember Betty and Think About Betty, what would we do for Betty, just to get our employees to continue to think about members first. There'll be plaques of Betty in every conference room with a little story around her and how that connects to members first, and a number of other giveaways. As part of our culture and part of our program, we do meet with every new employee in the organization through the orientation process. We teach them about customer experience, what it means. Everybody owns the experience, and we ask them to think about making things easier for our members and all the work that they do. Now we'll talk about measurement. This was also another bedrock of our program. What's measured gets done, and when we measure and behaviors change, then culture changes along with it. So we implemented 4 key primary relationship measures. Is Blue KC an easy company to work with? Are we effective at meeting your needs? Are we a company you can trust? And would you recommend us? So these are our 4 primary measures. And then we also teach the organization and our employees about what a relationship level measure looks like and what a transactional level measure looks like. The difference between the questions, the difference in methodology. And then we also teach that Blue KC is an easy company to work with as our customer effort score measure. And we actually incent every employee on that. So we have 25% of our annual bonus is tied to that result for the year. Changes a lot of behavior and a lot of conversations. Here's our results. So our ease score when I walked into the organization was 57%. It is now 72%. And correspondingly, we've seen a huge increase in NPS. We also do benchmarking. The top providers, the top health insurance plans reach 70% positives in customer effort score or ease, and Blue KC was at 72%. We're also very honored to win these awards, winning JD Power Award as well. And then the board decided that we would go up to a 25% annual bonus for customer effort score versus 20%, which is what it was initially. Diving into customer insights and VOC, we publish our 4 measurements around the building in all of our monitors. On our intranet, we talk to our employees about the positive drivers, the negative drivers. We teach them about the scale for Net Promoter Score. So this is constantly placed in front of our employees. This is another view of the dashboard that we publish for our executives and for our steering committee. And just another opportunity to display how we're doing, not only overall, but by line of business and then trending over time. This is an example of our speech analytics platform. We have a number of dashboards that we use. Every phone call, every email, every survey verbatim goes into this tool and gets categorized and processed so we know what our members are talking to us about, what their pain points are. This is a COVID dashboard example. And then we have a bunch of other dashboards that we are developing and have in place. So our at-risk employer groups, so we can really drive out pain there. We do a number of touch point dashboards Specific employer groups, we do dashboards by line of business so we know what our member pain points are there. We have one around information requests so we know how to improve our website, talking points, mobile app, and then a number of other functional dashboards. We have employed human-centered design very, very deeply as part of our improvement program, which I'm going to take you through in detail. This is a really good example of Ariel, not her real name, and how we were not giving her ID card didn't have her proper information, and she had to go through a lot to get it fixed and basically quit going to the doctor because of it. In our customer complaints category, as part of our overall strategy and culture, we are pushing a strategic closed action loop in the company. You know, we're very good at operational loops, all of us are, where we solve one problem at a time. But we are looking for themes and systemic issues that our members tell us about. And we are working through the organization with subject matter experts to get those closed permanently. We reorganized the team to bring in the right talent to drive the improvement pillar and to drive action in our teams. And I've also been recently asked to take on the commercial customer care organization. Here's an example around our escalation and complaint handling action strategy. We have an entire education process and partners in the company so that they understand how problems come to us and how we're handling them. We have an alert process. We have a medical escalation process, which includes our medical directors and doctors, clinical folks, as well as our administrative and program folks who we can call on at a moment's notice to take care of an issue. These are usually very complicated issues. And then we take action on them. This is an example of our speech analytics data and how we're using it. So for 2020, we found website was a huge driver of calls and problems and pain for our members. We broke that down into specific tasks they were trying to do and then brought it to life with verbatims. And then we use this data with our CX Council to prioritize improvement events and drive that improvement accountability through the organization. Here's how we're doing that now with our new improvement framework. It has 5 phases. Phase 1 is data-driven, again, from our speech analytics platform. We do a lot of prioritization work here with our CX Council using an ease, urgency, and impact evaluation criteria. Once we determine what we're going to work on first, we bring in the right subject matter experts into sometimes 2 or 3 hour meetings, and we value stream map the current process. Then we find members who are having these issues, and we do very, very deep dive interviews with them to better understand not only the issue, but the impact to their life. Then we create future state maps. What do we want the experience to be based on what our members need and what they're telling us? And then we build an action and accountability plan. This summer, we ran an event around member information management. So 46,000 calls and issues around wrong address, wrong birth date. I am having trouble adding a family member, just things that we need to do a better job of making easy. That resulted in 10 virtual workshops, 24 key stakeholders were involved, 5 deep member interviews, and that resulted in 12 initiatives. And again, just calling to life the human-centered design here with Ariel. And that really sums up this summary of everything that we've tried to do in the last 3 years. And again, thanking you for the opportunity to be part of this World Series Customer Centricity Award. I'm now going to turn my attention to answering the judges' questions on this and look forward to the event in May. Thank you.